Yeah, let's just blame the guns, not the person pulling the trigger, because that makes a whole lot of sense. And earlier today, I did a video on the Afghan refugee crisis and the ones that are just leaving military bases, vetted or unvetted. We don't know, but that was on the Odyssey and BitChute. Go ahead and look at there. Check it out. Like, subscribe, bleep, blop, bloop, and comment. All of these videos I try to do every day, but, But having said that, the reason I did that on BitChute and Odyssey is because I didn't think Susan Wojcicki would approve of me talking about the Afghan refugees. And I didn't even say anything bad. That's the issue that I have with YouTube. But I'm still going to use YouTube because I'm going to take them down from the inside. Anyways, CNN blames record surge in homicides on police and guns. Makes sense, right? Responding to an FBI report on Monday that shows homicides have increased an unprecedented 30% over the past year, CNN newsroom host Erica Hill, probably a far leftist douche canoe, sought to figure out why. Ultimately, she concluded that it was the police themselves and guns. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Scores of people are shot every single weekend in Chicago. It's because it's guns. Well, that's just the end result. The person using the medium to hurt people. But it's not the chief cause. It's someone going, I want to hurt this person, and they do it with a gun. Now they do it with knives as well. That's more personal. But of course, if you're uninitiated and if you're a far leftist douchebag like Erica Hill, you'll just blame the police. I'm not sure how many times I've seen the police go out there and just blast away at people for no reason. Has it happened before? Possibly. But the point is that just to blame guns completely and police and not the people actually committing the crimes is in and of itself a travesty. But what else do you expect from CNN? In a segment with professor and criminologist Richard Rosenfeld, Hill inquired about police. You noted in some of your findings that urgent action was required in terms of the rates of homicide, saying enacting needed police reforms will be essential. Specifically, what type of reforms do you think are essential here? Again, I don't necessarily understand that police reforms, while needed, I don't think that will stop homicides. That doesn't make any sense. You need more policing in areas that will have more homicides, not less. Now, I'm not 100% fan of police, but they do serve a function. However, when you have these mental midgets like Erica Hill, who's not really a news, she's an anchor. She just asks questions put to her. She's not smart enough to do that. Let's be honest. Rosenfeld's answer was twofold. First, he declared wanted to increase the accountability of police officers who've been shown to engage in serious misconduct. I agree on that. Yes. Accountability before their own agencies and the law. Yes. I agree with that. That is what should be on the table right now. Not just we investigated ourselves and are found ourselves not guilty of anything. That's ridiculous. Secondly, is to move from police department activities that are better handled by other agencies, being the frontline responder to drug overdose, for example, in most cases. That's not, it seems to me, what we want our police departments to be addressing right now. Other agencies trained in medical emergency services are better able to handle those calls. Responding to the day-to-day problems to the homeless is better done, it seems to me, in most cases by agencies whose personnel are trained in crisis intervention. So moving from the police department activities better handled by others enables police departments to focus on the immediate and important issue of increase in violence we've seen. Kind of agree with that, but then again, you can't, just send a caseworker down to a homeless man who's throwing poop at people, sitting out at a cafe having a latte or something like that. You're going to need to send the police because that homeless person, while out of his freaking gourd, is assaulting people with his own feces. You can't have that. And a caseworker, what's he going to do? Stop, sir. Oh, God, stop. It's not going to happen. Hill then shifted to guns. For the first time in decades, the head of the CDC, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, telling CNN exclusively a month ago when talking about gun violence, specifically that it is a serious public health threat. No, it's not, but whatever. We know the CDC is starting some of that funding, some of that research. Well, looking at the root causes of gun violence, make a difference moving forward. Rosenfeld agreed that the mere existence of a gun poses a problem. And here's or I don't agree with this son of a bitch. Absolutely, we have to look at the underlying causes of violence generally and firearm violence in particularly. I can tell you right now, gangs. I don't like that person. Hey, 16-year-old, take this gun, high point, 9mm, and go blast him. That's what happens. A lot of these violence acts in Chicago are people that may not know them, maybe third or fourth handedly, saying that that's a rival gang member, kill him. Here's an initiation. Go out and end this person's life. Or male on, husband and wife sort of getting in an argument and the wife shoots her, or vice versa. A lot of things can happen, but to say that it's the gun's fault. Well, what about them when people stab? Oh, we don't talk about knife violence. What about bat violence? What about running down someone with their car? No, we don't talk about that. We talk about guns because they're big and scary, and we think we can fix it. I don't see how you can fix it with 400 million firearms in the United States. Good to you. There's good evidence that firearm carrying in our major cities went up last year, and as more people carry firearms, more people will be shot, and more. That's not true. Where's your empirical data that someone carrying a gun will just go, just start shooting people? That doesn't happen. That's insane. This is when the leftists start talking with other leftists. They start talking out their ass. Case in point. That, of course, opens the door for potential gun control legislation, but Rosenfield dodged that and instead focused on persistent poverty and joblessness in most of our vulnerable communities, and in particular those communities that have been hit hard by the COVID pandemic, so we have to look along those lines. Throughout the segment, CNN ignored the simplest explanation: dark blue cities slashing their police budgets and demoralizing the impact of defund the police movement. The segment was sponsored by Carvana. Here's a transcript, so there you go. It's not the deep blue cities. It's not the deep blue states. It's not their problem that they've been voting filthy, goddamn, motherfucking, heartless, cocksucking, Democrat, liberal pieces of human shit for the last 60 years into these fucking cities. No, that's not the problem at all. It's guns. And guns are the only problem. It's not this fucking feckless piece of shit congressman who's been in there for 30 years, who's obviously only there because he's a diversity hire. No, it's not that. It's guns. And it always will be guns until liberals somehow find their way off this mortal plane. But good luck on that.